Hi, and welcome to a Sense of Wellness podcast, inspiring and empowering a healthier you. I'm your host, Susan Greeley, and I'll be diving deeper into the 4 pillars of wellness: sleep, exercise, nutrition, and stress management. I'm thrilled to get today's conversation on exercise going because my guest is so motivating and inspiring. We're going to focus on dispelling myths and negative mindsets regarding exercise and aging. So with me today is Ingo Okafor, who is a passionate and dedicated personal trainer and motivation and body transformation expert. He opened a gym in New York City in 2018 and works with some big names for sure. Not only that, Ingo is a model and boxer who won the Golden Gloves boxing championship back-to-back in 2008 and 2009, as well as a devoted father and husband who is a generally awesome human being. He grew up in Nigeria, where he spent much of his childhood being sick and bedridden. Ingo's story of mental and physical strength and resilience is beautiful, and I'm really excited to have this opportunity to speak with him today. So Ingo, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Susan, for having me. I'm excited.
I'm too. Now, we're going to start with, I love people's stories, Ingo, and your early childhood was marked by being physically weak and this, sick, skinny kid. How did you find the mental determination to transform yourself?
Well, I found the mental toughness and determination because I was just tired of watching the world just go by me. I just felt like everybody else was having such a great time in life, and I wasn't. I just felt like I was just watching people have fun, watching people run and exercise, get strong, do all of these things that I just couldn't do. I missed so much school time because I was in and out of the hospital. And so I would be admitted in the hospital sometimes 3 weeks at a time, a month at a time. And my mom would have to make photocopies of other kids' notes and teachers' notes. And when I would get out of the hospital, I would have to stay home to study, to catch up. So it was a lot of time by myself. And, you're home and you hear kids playing outside and having a great time outside. And I couldn't do it because I had so much work that I had to catch up on. So it just built up that kind of like a resentment in a way, being sick and being weak. And I just was determined to make up for lost time. So once I began to grow out of, having this illness, it was a respiratory illness, being able to grow out of it, I just jumped in. I just wanted to do everything that I felt like I missed out on. And that was it. It was just a determination to live.
Mm-hmm.
Like a fighting to live and experience life that I just didn't for so many years.
Wow. I can relate to that. I spent 1 week sick as a child, literally 1 week. And I remember hearing my neighborhood friends laughing and running. And you took me back to that moment just now. I mean, it sounds like pales in comparison, but that type of experience, I completely understand. And you had this intrinsic drive, and I see it still today, clearly. So, we do live in this culture now. We're going to jump through today, and we treat aging as a weakness and just like this steady decline. And I think that we need to really focus on talking about how to prevent that and how to change that mindset, which is what I said, you and I both love talking about that. So,
yeah.
Right. And there are a lot of studies that suggest that after a certain age, it becomes difficult for people to build muscle. And we're talking about men and women. What do you think of these studies? Do you think that a person, man or woman, can still build muscle at any age? And let's talk about the different decades, perhaps.
Of course. I believe that men and women can build muscle at any age. Yes. Are we getting older? Are we aging every single day? Yes. However, I believe that if we look at fitness and building muscle the way we look at our careers, you go to work every day, you show up and you do your job every day. You put one foot in front of the other every single day with your career and with making money. We do that every single day. We think about it every single day. If we treat our fitness and getting stronger and building muscle the way we think about our careers and making money, we would improve the same way. You go to work, you put in the time, you get better at it, you learn more, and then you grow. You make more money as you get older. So I believe in the same thing for building muscle. Like if you look at it as a continuum as opposed to something you have to achieve today, if you look at it as like every day I'm going to add a little bit, I'm going to learn my body a little bit, I'm going to put a little bit more pressure on my body, because all muscle is adaptation, right? You put pressure on the body and it will build muscle to adapt to the pressure that you put on it. And if you do this over time intelligently, and working on your mobility while you do it, so you don't lose mobility and stretch and do other recovery work, you will continue to get better. I'm going to be 49 this year. And I truly, people say this all the time, I'm in the best shape of my life, but they really aren't. I can truly say that I am in the best shape of my life at 49 years old, better than in my 30s and better than in my 20s, because I look at my fitness and building muscle and getting stronger as a continuum. I don't rush it. I take my time every day that I go to the gym. I work on getting stronger, lifting weight, doing my cardio, doing my core work. Every single day that I go to the gym, I go to the gym or my gym, or I do work at home, I always do something, always stay connected to my body, and I learn my body, and that's how you continue to grow. So I believe that if you want to look like a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old even, you have to work like a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old. You have to put in the work, but a lot of times as we get older, we start saying, oh, that's for kids to do, or we start building these prisons for ourselves. And that's why we would have built muscle, because if you tell yourself that you can't, then you can't. I had a client who was 50 years old. The same thing, I had a client who was 70, say was 71 years old. And he came to me and he said, I read these studies and it says that it's very difficult, that you can't build muscle when you're in your 70s. And I told him, listen, we'll start from where you are and then we'll start to ramp you up. And he did a 28-day transformation with me, which is what I've created and I specialize in. And by the 28th day, he did build muscle. He lost body fat at 71. Okay. He built muscle, lost body fat, went back to his doctor, got a physical, and all of the negative numbers were changed. His cholesterol went down. His blood sugar went down. His bone density went up in 28 days. So if you put pressure on yourself, your body will adapt and your body will grow. So anybody, male or female, can build muscle at any age.
It's incredible. 28 days, 4 weeks to improve his bone density and all those other biomarkers. That just does kind of blow your mind, but it's that daily dedication to it. So you said so many things there, Ingo, that I want to talk about. And I think one thing is that you own a gym. You're in a gym every single day. I honestly think most people are not. And, you and I were speaking, and since the pandemic, I literally have not set foot in a gym. So what do we do at home? How do we find the time at home? And this is what I think is really important to talk about, because you told this to me. Without any type of equipment, you can do that strength training, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us how to do that at home. Like, what are some exercises, or like, what's the approach that you recommend to build that daily strengthening exercise?
So the most important thing to remember is it has to be a continuum. You can't look at it like, I'm going to get it all in 1 week. I'm going to get it all in 28 days. No, you have to look at it like a continuum, right? So you start by you've never done anything before. What I always tell my clients or my friends or whoever's in my life that has a question for me, start with 5 minutes. Just do something that you can do every day. and that is not overwhelming. A lot of times, I got to look, if I don't have an hour, doesn't feel like I did anything. I can show anyone a 5-minute workout that you can do that will challenge you. Okay. So there are different ways to go about it, right? Like it's all you want is to put pressure on the body. So if you're doing a set of squats, do 5 squats, 5 lunges, 5 bridges, 5 sit-ups.
Every day? That sounds so simple. That really sounds so simple.
And then think about this, right? You start out doing 5. There are 52 weeks in a year. So even if you add 1 rep every week, so if you start with 5 and you do 5 reps a week, 5 reps of everything, 5 days a week, for example. And then the next week, you add 1 more rep. So now you're doing 6 reps. In a month, you're doing 10 reps of everything. Now think about that over 48 more weeks. Just adding 1 rep a week. And then let's say you say, okay, I'm good at 10, right? Then you do 2 rounds of it. And then over time, you do another round. So by the end of it all, you're doing 3 rounds at 10 reps each. That's 30 reps of everything. 30 reps of squats, 30 reps of lunges, 30 reps of bridges, 30 sit-ups in 3 rounds. And all you started with was your spot.
Right. That's what I wanted to just reiterate is maybe today, whoever's listening, even from myself, 30 seems like there's no way I'm doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Who can't start with 5 of anything? 5, 3 or 5 basic exercises and only 5 of them. Right. And what I love to point out to clients as well, Ingo, is that when you do that next year at this time with very little effort, and that's not a ton of time or effort, it fits into your day. You are stronger and healthier than you are at this moment. So it's like, right? Look ahead. And next year, maybe you'll be starting a new decade, right? I'm already in that decade. And I can also say that maybe I'm not at my strongest yet, but I think in many ways I am at my strongest, fittest point in life in my 50s. And meeting you've motivated me to, not to make this about me, but to really see that I can set these exercise goals and achieve them in a doable way that fits into my very busy lifestyle. And I know that most people get overwhelmed and don't know where to start. And so breaking it down like that, I think is truly the most motivating and helpful part. You don't have to go from 0 to 100. You don't have to go from whatever you look like to being Ingo.
Exactly. And, you start wherever you are.
Right.
You start wherever you are and just do something. Keep it simple. That's the most important thing. Keep it simple and you will see yourself grow. Keep it simple. Do it daily. Give yourself 5 minutes a day. You can do it at work. You can do it if you work at home, wherever you are. You can give yourself 5 minutes for a better life. If you're looking at it as 5 minutes each day per week, each day, let's say you do it Monday through Friday and the weekends you rest, right? Because, we want it to fit.
Right.
And Monday through Friday, it's 5 minutes a day. That's 25 minutes a week.
That's nothing. Rest days. So that said, are rest days and recovery important? If you're only doing small incremental exercises like that, do you still need quote unquote rest days? Or do you, want to say do it 7 days a week? Why not?
Well, I don't, saying do it 7 days a week. I understand human nature. People want it to be able to feel like they can shut things down.
Right.
So that's okay. You can shut it down. Start with 5 days and commit to 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week.
Done.
5 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And then you do that for 1 month. Do that for 28 days.
Right.
And usually by 28 days, if you continue doing this, it will become a habit.
But definitely.
Then you can have this habit for the rest of your life. And then you can add 1 more minute.
I love that. I'm just taking that in.
Add 1 more minute and then do 6 minutes for another one. And then add another minute. That's 7 minutes. So in 3 months, you've gone from 5 minutes to 7 minutes. And by the end of the year, you would be at 17 or 18 reps. And that's by just adding 1 rep to everything you do. So if you say, I want to do a total body workout 5 minutes a day, squat is a great total body exercise, and you can time under tension also makes it different. So if you go slow and you count 3 seconds to go down into a squat and then 3 seconds to come back up. If you had knee problems or ankle problems or problems with your hips, just take 3 seconds and sit on the chair and 3 seconds and stand up. Sitting in a chair is a squat.
Good point.
So sit in the chair and then stand back up. You do 5 reps to that. Take your time. Do 5 reps to that. Catch your breath and then do stationary lunges. All you need is a 4x4, 4 foot by 4 foot space. And then you do lunges, 5 reps of lunges on each leg. Take it slow, protect yourself, protect your knees. And then you do single leg bridge. You lay on your back, 1 foot down. You do 5 reps on each side. And then you do a push up. You do a push up. So you can do it. I usually don't recommend this, but if someone's doing it without me, I'll say do it on your knees. Even if you get 1 inch, that's great. 5 reps. And then you do 5 sit-ups. If you have back pain or lower back pain, just do 5 crunches. And that's your total body workout. You did upper body with the push-up, and you did lower body with the squat, lunge, single leg bridge. And lower body work builds more muscle and burns more calories because there are more muscles in your lower body than upper body, usually. So that's 5 minutes that can change your life. 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, that can change your life. So we can do it. We just have to start with baby steps. I'm the baby step guy. Baby steps. And you will not get overwhelmed, and you can add from month to month.
Right. That was so important for you to say. And I want listeners to really take that to heart. Those baby steps are what matter most when they see somebody who's, so like you've dedicated so many years to getting to where you are. And, as a boxer, all of that, sure. And it takes time to build muscle, but that was such a key point. Like, I want to go back and listen to that and design. Anybody and everybody listening can design that 5-minute exercise strengthening program at home starting today. And you will become stronger by doing that. And that's the goal, is to use your muscles to build that strength. I just found that, like you said, like life altering in a way. You said it will change your life physically. And then that also translates into more strength, I firmly believe, mentally. Because then you build that confidence. You see that you're getting physically stronger. And I see people doing this in their 70s and literally in their 80s, Ingo. And we're not just speaking to 20-year-olds. We're speaking to everybody at every age. And I reinforce that in everything I do. And I have clients of all ages. I have some in their 90s, and I don't want them to think that they can't do this as well. And so 2 things. So that building muscle, we've dispelled that myth that you can't build muscle as you age. You can. You're maybe going against Mother Time, but it's doable with these daily consistent exercises, right? So that's, And then you brought up, so I have to bring up the metabolism word that everybody talks about. And, I get all these questions all the time. Oh, I think my metabolism has slowed down just because like I hit 40 or 50 or 60. And you mentioned building muscle groups that are going to help you. So tell us more about that. Like, how does somebody prevent that metabolism slowdown?
I have this conversation every single day with people. And it's a bit frustrating because you have these quote unquote studies, and anybody can do a study. Anybody can pay for a study to get done. What I try to teach people is, first of all, a lot of people don't know how old I am. by when they meet me and they look at me, they have no clue how old I am. And that should tell everybody everything. Like I believe that if you choose to continue to move, I don't believe that our metabolism slows down. We slow down. What happens is as we get more successful, because we're putting time into building our careers, as we get more successful, we start slowing down to pat ourselves on the back and enjoy the fruits of our labor. And that fruit, there's a cost for that fruit that we're enjoying. There are calories attached to that fruit that we're enjoying. I tell everybody, think about how your life was when you were in your 20s. You were hustling, running around, trying to do things, trying to build this life that you have now achieved in your 40s, 50s, 60s. And what happens is, I want to sit back and enjoy my coffee in the morning. I want to sit back and drink this wine that I've worked so hard for, and what happens is you're not moving, you're eating more, you're consuming more calories. So we don't realize that we're moving less and we're eating more. And it builds subtle, slow.
That's what I see.
Next thing you do, we blink and we put on 10, 15, 20 pounds because we're moving less and we're eating richer foods.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is true.
And it's 1 calorie here, 2 calories there, 5 calories here, 10, a glass of wine, depending on what kind of grapes it's made out of, could be 100 to 150 calories. And depending on what kind of pour, you're at home, you're not a bartender, no one's charging you. You can have a generous pour. That pour could be 150 calories or more. And you drink 2 or 3 of those every night because you deserve it. You earned it. You worked so hard. Oh, I'll leave all the running around and hard work to the kids to do. And that's why the kids look the way they look. And as we get older, we look the way we look, So I don't believe that metabolism slows down. We slow down, get less active, and consume more calories. And that's where the pounds, the weight comes from. And mental too, because once you start telling yourself, I'm older, I'm not supposed to do this anymore, your body's like, okay, we're not supposed to do that anymore. So let's just relax and just gain weight. And then we say, oh, this is middle age. This is the middle-aged body. This is how I'm supposed to, how I look now. This is how people in their 40s look, how people in their 50s look. Why should we not look at the people who are thriving, who are doing amazing things in their 40s, 50s, 60s and say, I want to look and feel like that person who is doing those amazing things. That's how I live my life. Like I don't look for the lowest common denominator and then put myself there. I look for the outliers and I chase the outliers because that's how we live the best life in this life.
Exactly. We all learn by example. So find those inspiring examples. And I'd say I strive to be an outlier and you do too.
Yeah. Yeah. We should all like I would have never guessed that when you told me how old you are, I would have never guessed because you continue to fight and never give in to what these studies and society says that we should feel like and look like.
Mm-hmm. And for listeners, by the way, Ingo, when I met you as well, I thought you're 30 and then he's 49. I was like, wow, all right. We're doing something. We're doing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I am having this conversation with you now because this is we're not, different from anybody else. And that's what I really like to share as well.
Yeah.
I really practice what I preach, as do you. And then we both believe in the mental aspect. And so I want to switch gears to that as well, is just that. Do you practice any sort of daily self-talk, visualization? What do you do mentally? We have the physical habits of eating well and exercising and really walking the walk. I want to tap into what you do, Ingo, mentally on a daily basis that, keeps you in this place of self-motivation and if you have any practice. Discipline.
Well, life is hard. Life is hard. It's hard being an adult. So for me, not only do I do self-talk every day, I do self-talk multiple times throughout the day, because we don't just wake up and have one moment in our daily lives. There are moments throughout the day where our energy may dip and we still have 8 more hours of work to do. You may have had a bad sleep night. Maybe you slept only a few hours, and then you wake up and you have meetings and people you have to interact with. And, maybe the kids are sick, or your wife or spouse is sick, or whatever it is, So I wake up in the morning and I talk to myself. Like, I try to slow my mind down, and I don't always sit down to meditate. I can meditate while I take a shower. I can meditate and talk to myself while I brush my teeth, or if I'm, walking to the car. I just talk to myself throughout the day, and I pump myself up throughout the day, because a lot of life is designed to make us complacent, make us relax. And why are you working so hard? Why are you pushing so hard? You've worked so hard in your life. Take a step, chill, go on vacation, pamper yourself. But if you're trying to achieve amazing things and do epic things in life, you have to continue to push yourself, and you have to push past these feelings of tiredness, exhaustion, lack of motivation. And I battled that by continuing to talk to myself throughout the day. Wherever I feel like, I may be losing energy, I start talking to myself again, like, hey, you made the right decision to do these things. You said you were going to do these things. A lot of people are counting on you. Your family's counting on you. Your friends are counting on you. You own this gym. There are trainers in the gym that need for you to be at a high level. You have clients that need for you to be at a high level. You cannot let them down. And then I start talking to myself again. Get up, keep pushing. It's not just you. You have people that are depending on you, people that need you. Get up. Get to, walk faster, move, keep moving, don't give up, So these are conversations that I have with myself all day, multiple times a day. But it starts with the way you go to bed. It starts with the mindset when you go to bed, when your body starts to slow down and you start to get ready to lay down. I start to prepare for the next day. I think about what my day is going to be like. I look at my schedule for the next day. And I start to plan what my energy is going to be like. And then you go to bed. You go to bed with a plan. That also helps keep you from getting overwhelmed. You look at your day and you plan out your day, and you go to sleep and you wake up strong and positive because you already have a plan in place. And then you think about your day again and talk to yourself. You slow down. I slow down again. Talk to myself. Okay, this is what's going to happen today. Okay, if I start at this time and I have this first meeting, this person may make me feel this way. So I have to now talk to myself X, Y, and Z to get myself back up to have, so just figure out the rhythm of your day. And it could be only 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be just sit down in Indian, position with your fingers touching and, looking into the sky. It can be 5 minutes of you just standing and walking slowly, just being mindful of every move that you make. And you can insert these 5-minute slots where you re-energize yourself and recharge your mind, recharge your brain, and keep on going.
That is awesome. I love that you started the night before. And I think that that's one habit that if more people start to adopt that, everything falls into place then. Start your next day in this positive place of, you curate your life. And I think many people aren't curating their life. They think that they don't have power over things, and they let the negative thoughts seep into everybody. And it takes time to also change that into positive thoughts, but we do it. So I have these conversations with myself as well. And I've started, this is very funny. It's all in our heads, and I meditate and I do mindfulness breathing and all sorts of things. I've started to talk out loud because I work from So to have the positive self-talk out loud actually helps me as well. And you said one thing like about you plan your day the night before. I think many of us do, especially in the working world, and things don't go according to plan.
Yes.
So on any given day, I honestly think that in my world, there's not a single day that goes according to plan. And I say that all the more reason to start the night before to envision if it did go according to plan, what would you like it to look like?
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
And my morning routine is the most important. That's like sacred time, even if it is just 5 minutes for meditation and 10 minutes for yoga. Like I really have to start my day mentally, physically in this positive place. And then guess what? 99% of the time, my day does go better because I've tested it out. When I catch myself in the negative thoughts and this and get stressed out, that energy is out there, and changing that at that first morning, my thoughts in the morning and the night where I'm with you on that, it's transformative.
It is. And another thing is we can't control everything.
No. Please don't try.
I would love to control everything, but I've learned as I got older that you can't control everything, and we shouldn't try to control everything, because that is definitely the way to be overwhelmed, the way to kind of shut down and not achieve things. But if you allow yourselves to allow things to happen, like the night before, you prepare yourself. And it's all about preparation. So even when things don't go, quote unquote, as planned, you have a plan B, plan B, plan C for when things don't exactly go the way you anticipated or envisioned in your mind. You have another plan to counter that. So it's all about preparation. Preparation is the most important thing. And once you spend a little bit of time getting ready, preparing, then things usually work out. It's about how the day ends and like the different moments of the day that matter, not just one moment or one thing that didn't go exactly as planned. Visualization is huge for me. I don't know if we're going to talk about this or get to this at any point, but, I talk about doing things or being an outlier. I started boxing when I was 31 years old, and most boxers or most fighters start to retire at that time. But because I didn't get a chance to play sports as a kid, and I knew that I was athletic, and you just know yourself. And I knew that I wanted to express that at a high level. And I started boxing just like most people start boxing. Like I was doing it just for exercise, the way to mix my workouts up. I would run all the time, bike all the time, weights all the time. And I wanted something different to spice things up. And the boxing came into my life, and I was doing it just like extra cardio and, just the process of throwing punches and learning how to throw punches correctly. I fell in love with that, fell in love with the process, and I started getting better, and people would tell me, oh, you should think about competing. And I'm 31 years old. I have a modeling career. I don't want to get face beat up. But the bottom line is I decided that being alive and pushing myself to express myself physically because of the athletic gene that I believed that I had was more important than living in fear. Because not doing it would be me being afraid of getting hurt or not being able to do it at a high level. So at 31, I threw myself into it, and I trained hard, and I trained like a 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old every single day. And at 33, I won my first Golden Glove. Finals were at Madison Square Garden. One of my fights leading up to the Golden Gloves, I fought an 18-year-old. And he was the guy that was supposed to win the Golden Gloves that year. And everybody thought he was going to destroy me. Everybody thought he was going to beat me. My friends laughed. I had friends that laughed at me when I started. What are you going to do the Golden Gloves. Like these kids start at 8 years old. Kids are going to knock you out. You're not going to embarrass yourself. You're not going to do it. And I believed in myself. And I believe that if you work hard, if you put in the work, your body will respond. Your body will adapt. And I beat all these guys in their 20s to win the first Golden Gloves at 33. And then I did it again the next year to prove that it was not a fluke. And once again, I sparred with kids, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I fought guys in their 20s again the next year and won again. So I try to tell people that I meet, just believe that your body is a fantastic, amazing, boundless machine. And visualization, like I would visualize every single part of my training. I would see myself doing it. I would visualize my fights, see myself going through from bell. I would sit and set up a timer. The bell would go off and I close my eyes and I see I'm going to start. I'm going to get in, bell rings. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to throw this punch. I'm going to move like this. They do this. I do this. So I go through the fight, the entire round, every single round of fight. When the bell rings for the round to end, I'm going to go and I'm going to sit down like this. I'm going to breathe like this. And then like the next round, I'm going to do this. So I visualize every piece of it. And a lot of times when you do this work, your body actually does know that it did not do this. It believes that it did this already. So when I'm in the ring fighting, my body is just going through that motion because I've done it already and I've been there. I've had that fight hundreds of times before actually setting foot in the ring.
I got goosebumps. That is the coolest story. And, as I said at the beginning, you're so motivating and inspiring. And hearing that motivates me in this moment to do more. And I sincerely mean that because we are limitless in many ways. And that's what, we need to believe about ourselves individually. That is so cool, Ingo.
Thank you.
It is.
Thank you. We can all do that. It's not for a special set of people. We just have to decide that enough is enough. This is what we're going to do. I'm tired of feeling like I can't move. I'm tired of feeling like this is the body that I'm going to be for the rest of my life. I'm being happy in our lives. I believe that any single one of us can do this because our minds are tougher than our bodies. And we can make our bodies do whatever we want our bodies to do. We just have to believe it first. Believe it and never give in.
Never give in and start today. I don't care if you're 85 or 25, you can start today. And what did I say before recording? I'm going out to buy a new pair of running shoes.
There you go.
I'm going to start today.
My thing is just start something today. 5 minutes. We have phones. We have Alexa. We have Google. Set a 5-minute timer and you will blink and the time is over and you would have gotten yourself stronger, in better shape, physically and mentally. Because a lot of times, like we spend most of our days pouring into others, pouring into our spouses, pouring into our kids, pouring into our bosses at work. We're always pouring into others and we never make time for ourselves. Like if there were a burner behind the back burner, that's where we would peak, So making time for yourself, giving yourself 5 minutes a day where no one can interrupt you. You're not thinking about anybody else. You're just giving yourself this time. Over time of doing this, you will learn that, okay, to make time for yourself. Making time for yourself doesn't mean you're selfish. And I say this especially to my female clients and the women in my life. Making time for yourself doesn't make you selfish. Men do it all the time. Making time for yourself makes you a better person. And when you're a better person, you're better for everybody in your life. But it starts with you. It starts with us. We have to make time for ourselves.
I want to add on to that because, I work with so many people and over so many years, and women in particular do use that as an excuse, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's their own doing and it's not benefiting them. Making that time for yourself is imperative for your own health. It's for everybody, but instead, it's easy to hide behind it. So it's not an excuse. It's really creating this mask or barrier, and it's a real thing. So they're either scared or, I think that's part of it.
I think a lot of it also is, we love our families, we love the people around us, and we want them to be happy and be taken care of. So a lot of my female clients and the women in my life feel like, oh, if I don't do this, my husband will never be able to. I'm like, listen, your husband's not going to die. Your husband is a grown-ass man. He can go and boil some water. He can boil an egg. He can make himself a sandwich so that you can go and give yourself 30 minutes at the gym, an hour at the gym, where you take care of yourself. Your children are not going to die if you give yourself 30 minutes or an hour to yourself.
This is my point. Those are excuses because it's hard to start. And you're telling people take 5 minutes. And this is why I love this conversation, because it's overwhelming. They're scared. They're tired. It's the path of least resistance. When you break it down and say, it's only 5 minutes. I have a mom and she doesn't even get on her treadmill for 5 minutes because of the girls, her kids there. They're not going to care that you're working out for literally 5 or 10 minutes.
They would actually love and respect you more because you're doing something for yourself and you're showing your children, the people in your life, take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. And that's empowering and that's inspiring.
It's okay to take care of yourself. It's actually imperative. It's important that we learn and we teach everyone around us that they can and must take care of themselves. If you cannot take care of yourself, you truly cannot take care of other people.
Yeah.
So take that time for yourself. Take that time for yourself. Walk on a treadmill, get on the bike, or just take a walk around the block, or walk around your house, or walk up and down the street. Just 5 minutes by yourself. It'll be better for you. It'll be better for everybody around you.
Oh, completely. Humans are meant to move. And when we are sedentary, that's when you deteriorate. That's when you weaken mentally and physically. And so, just making sure that you spend time every day doing something for yourself physically translates into better health mentally, and everybody around you benefits. It's not a joke.
Everybody benefits because you're in a better place. You have clarity. When everything in your life is go, 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 not stop, you don't have a second of clarity. Your life is happening to you.
Yeah.
You are not in the driver's seat of your life. Your life is just, as you wake up and you're like, oh, wow, a month has gone by, a year has gone by, and I've done nothing for myself. You don't have any control over your life. And that is not good. That is not how life is meant to be lived. We are meant to be in control of what happens in our lives day to day, moment to moment. And you can only do that if you can stop and take care of yourself. Stop and take stock of how you feel and how your life is making you feel, how your day is making you feel, how this moment is making you feel. That is how life feels. Life is meant to be lived.
A deep breath in there, like a mindful breath, and savor that. Thank you. I completely agree. We're going to quickly switch gears because I know I've kept you quite a while. Stay opposite. You and I clearly could talk all day. I do want to mention you started a charitable organization, Ingo. Can you tell us about that?
Thank you for asking about that. Actually, I started a charitable organization that I call Champion Spirit Foundation. And I started it right after I won my second Golden Gloves. I would send boxing equipment to kids in Nigeria. So it could be new, it could be old boxing shoes, it could be hand wraps, it could be used or brand new boxing gloves, and send it to the kids and the trainers so that they would have equipment to work with. While I was visiting Nigeria, I saw kids working out barefoot and sharing mouthpieces.
Oh,
You know, I remember when I was starting out, I remember sharing headgear, and it was the most disgusting, the most disgusting thing ever. Like someone finishes spar and it's like, sweated, the headgear is nasty and wet, and you put it on. Like, it's crazy thinking about all the things we did when we were fighting, because you just do it and you don't even think about it. Somebody puts on a protective cup and you take it and you put it on. You don't even think about diseases that you can share with each other, But what I didn't do was share mouthpieces. It's like I would at least boil the mouthpiece before using it. But these kids don't have anything, and it's a way to help and give them the equipment that they need to become champion. And that's why I started it. I feel it's truly amazing to help someone who, kind of like me, who wants to express themselves physically.
Mm-hmm. And give back. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's remarkable. And I brought that up to because it's so important and necessary, and just, another indication of how caring and giving you are. And I know how much that sport also created or transformed your life. So and just that passion for it. And so sharing that passion with these kids in a healthy way. Wow, that they don't know any better. So the fact that you can do that, I just wanted to thank you for that. So Ingo, I have one question that I ask of every guest, and I don't know if you know this, but I do ask every guest, what is one thing you're grateful for today?
One thing that I'm grateful for today is the gift of truly mental toughness that has been the through line of my life. To be able to have the gift to fight through being sick all the time. And, I came close to dying when I was a kid, because while I was one of my stays in the hospital, they couldn't figure out what was wrong. And they tried several different treatments and nothing was working. And it was touch and go for a while. So to be able to come out of that, transform my body into this strong, because people see me now, they could never imagine that there was a time I couldn't, I remember my parents just holding me up just for me to, just walk. My older brother holding me up to help me walk because I was so weak, and to be this picture of strength and power. It's just that mental toughness, and to be able to work my ass off to make money, to build, to buy the gym and run the gym for 5 years with no investors, by doing the Golden Gloves, to achieving all of the things that I've achieved in my life. That mental toughness is that gift that has driven and kept me going no matter what, no matter how hard things get, being able to push through and push past things. That is the through line of my life. The mental toughness, which has given me the discipline and the strength to achieve what I've achieved and the success that I've achieved in this life. So I'm very thankful for that gift.
Beautiful.
That I've been given.
Right. And too, it's a testament to the power we have within us and creates much more resilient and successful human beings. My final question is, where can listeners find you? And if they happen to be in New York City, where's your gym?
Well, listeners can find me on Instagram My handle is Catchingo, CATTHNGO. Anywhere in the world, they can find me on Instagram. My gym, Iconoclast Fitness, is at 210 Fifth Avenue in Manhattan, right across Madison Square Park. It's on Fifth Avenue between 25th and 26th Street. It's a beautiful, beautiful space. I would love for all of you to come and work out with me and let's share. And you can also find me on my website, ngookafor.com, ngookafor.com, or my website in the gym, iconoclastfitness.com. I want everyone to love fitness the way that I do. Even if you don't love it as much as I do, just to feel the love that I have for fitness and wellness as a whole. That's my mission in life, to get people to fall in love with fitness and their lives falling in love with themselves. That is my mission and my passion in this life, because it is freedom. Like fitness, being fit is freedom to walk and run and bike and swim and do anything that we want to do. I would love for everyone to have that.
Thank you for that. That was our first conversation, that freedom that we all feel when our bodies are well and we're moving. It's the greatest feeling in life, honestly. So thank you for that. Thank you, Ingo. Well, this has been such an honor for me, honestly. And I just want to say, keep motivating and inspiring people to transform their lives in positive and doable ways, because that's what you do. And I thank you for your passion for it. And thank you again for being with me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on, and can't wait for all the great things that we'll be doing with DCPHP. Yeah.
Exactly. Same with me. Well, thank you again. And I'm going to go buy my running shoes. Okay. See you soon.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you for taking time to join me and listen to this episode. You can find more information and subscribe to the Sense of Wellness podcast on our website at ccphp.net/send. This show is brought to you by Castle Connolly Private Health Partners, a concierge medicine organization that partners with and supports exceptional physicians to deliver an unrivaled experience of comprehensive, collaborative, and attentive care for a preventative approach on health and optimal well-being for members. Be sure to listen in next time to the Sense of Wellness podcast, and remember, simple daily habits matter most.